Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Soph. If you're new here, welcome. We talk about books, beauty and whatever I feel like talking about. Also, hello to all the new subscribers. I don't know where you have all come from, but hello. We love having you here. If you are new here and you do enjoy this video, please give us a big thumbs up and a subscribe. It really helps. For today's video, I'm going to be doing my monthly wrap up. So I've just got into obviously booktube and everything. I used to heavily upload like beauty related videos. I still love my makeup and everything like that, but I wasn't enjoying making content for that as much, and I feel like the beauty community is really hard to get into. And it's also, there's some people in it that I just don't blend with, like it's not necessarily my scene. However, so this was my first full month on booktube, so I just did obviously my June TBR. I managed to get 5 books read, which I'm reading my 5th one, so I don't think I'll quite finish 5 by the end of June. However, I don't think it will take me that many more days after this video and the next video that I'm gonna film. I literally can just read for the rest of the day, so and yeah, so I'm just gonna wrap it up. So on my TBR for June, we had From Blood and Ash, which was the chunkiest. We had Red Queen. I was in the middle of reading Deadly Education, so I just kind of transferred that one over. We had A Court of Thorns and Roses. We had Heartstopper, and we had Kingdom of the Wicked. I feel like there's another book I had. Oh, I did. I also had Down Comes the Night on my TBR, which I don't know how I forgot about this because this was one of my most like anticipated reads. The first one, obviously I finished reading Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. This is a book about, it's like a dark magical schooling book where to leave the school they have to graduate, and to graduate they have to basically survive a hall full of monsters and get to the gates before they shut. And the main character is like very standoffish. She doesn't really trust anyone, she hasn't really got any friends, but eventually she ends up making like allies and stuff to get through. She's in her second to last year. I really enjoyed this book, and I really enjoyed the like development of the characters and her gradually gaining relationships of different kinds with various people throughout the book. I think it was really well done. The only thing I couldn't get on with is the writing style. I found it very hard to start at the beginning. The first few chapters really, I really struggled to get through them, and I thought it was because I was reading it too close to finishing Harry Potter, so obviously it was like 2 completely different magical worlds, and I thought that was what I was struggling with, but it wasn't. It's just a bit rambly and it's a bit complex at the beginning, but honestly once you get past the first few chapters it's really good. I found it a lot easier to read, and I really enjoyed the story and the world behind it, and I will be buying the second book. I do want to finish it, so yeah, I think I rated it. So for Deadly Education I rated it a 3.5 because like I said, I enjoyed the story, the world building, the characters. I just wasn't a fan of the writing style. And I literally read here, I like the story a lot. Writing style made it hard to read at first. We'll probably reread before the sequel, and I stand by that. I do think I will reread it before the sequel comes out, because I think it'd be a lot easier to read the second time round, which isn't normally a good thing, but I do really like the story and I love where it's going, and the 2 characters are quite funny, so I'm excited for that one. The next one I read was actually Heartstopper. So I know this is obviously super short, so I don't know if you can count it as a whole book, but technically it is. I fell in love with these guys. I am so glad that I picked this up. This was the first ever graphic novel I've ever read, and now I've got about 5 in my wish list. But the story between these 2, the things they go through, the things the books talk about, I love. I actually couldn't wait to get the other 3 physical copies, so I scrolled all the way back through Alice's Tumblr to literally like over 1,000 days ago, so that's like 3 years ago, and I read all of the free things on there until it was all caught up, because I just couldn't wait. So I've basically kind of read all 4 books within this month, alongside other books that I was reading from my TBR, because I just couldn't get enough of it. I think it's so cute. Talks about very important topics like eating disorders and mental health issues and stuff, and I just love it. I really do love it, and I think the illustration style is so cute. I actually did end up buying the colouring book as well, so this got a big 5 stars from me, and I just my words are, my heart, Charlie is so sweet, what the heck, need the other 3 volumes now. And then for would you reread, I put yes, and that is so true. It was such a heartwarming, simple thing to read, and I just loved every minute of it. I adored this book. Now this one, woo! It didn't stop me from reading, but I was in a book hangover for literal, like, weeks. I think I'm still in the book hangover from this book. I was nervous to read it because so many people had given it mixed reviews. Like, some people were obsessed and others thought it was, like, really basic and bland. I adored this book. I gave it a 4.5, and I think the half was because there were certain times in the book where I thought there could be something more, and also the switch up at the end of one of the main characters really bugged me, but I'm hoping that in the second one things kind of switch back and then that'll be fine and I'll be obsessed with it. I am waiting for, I was going to pre-order it through an American website, but Fairy Loot have said that they're doing a special edition of the second one, so I will be getting that one instead. Hopefully they're doing it in the subscription box of October like they did for this one, but if not, then I will try and get my hands on it, or hopefully Waterstones do their own special edition. But honestly, I don't even have words for how much I love this book. I don't know why. It sounds unbelievable because I didn't give it 5 stars. The only reason I didn't give it 5 stars is because there was some things that bugged me. Just small little things that bugged me because I get so attached to the characters and how I want the book to, like, pan out. So that's why it's not 5 stars, but it's 4.5, so it's close enough. The main character, Amelia, she basically summons a demon, but ends up being a demon prince, and then they go on this sort of, like, journey together, trying to find out who killed her sister, what's happening in the city and stuff. I don't want to give too much away. And yeah, and there is a bit of a, I want to say there's a bit of an enemies to lover in it, but honestly, like I said, at the end, one of them proper switches up, and I don't know how that's going to go into the next one, because I fully thought they were, like, falling in love with each other, and then at the end it, like, proper switches up, and that stressed me out. But I gave it a 4.5, and I wrote, adored, plot was amazing, writing style was so easy to read, I hope we get more Amelia/Wrath romance and she doesn't just forget about him. Only thing missing was more romance. So there you go, that's what I didn't like about it. But apparently the second one's going to be very steamy, so I'm excited for that. That means that there's romance in there somewhere. And what I said about the writing style as well, I breezed through this book. Like, it was so easy to read. I think I read it in 2 days. When I was reading it, I literally sat there and read like 200 pages in one go. It was so easy, and I wish I could reread it for the first time, but loved it. Honestly, all the books that I chose this month, I genuinely really liked, so yay me. The next one I read was A Court on Thorns and Roses, and when I tell you I am peed off with myself for not getting the full set, I am fuming. I finished this book, and I was, like, so upset that it had finished that I was ready to, like, just go out and buy the next 4 books, but Connor was like, no, you don't have the money. Which is true, I didn't really have the money, but I just really wanted, even if I had just had, like, the next 2 books, because I wasn't ready for it to end, and I'm just really excited to see where the characters go in the next, like, in the rest of the series. I knew I was going to like it, but I didn't want to buy the whole set when I bought it, just in case, and now I really regret it, like, so much. I gave this one a 4 stars. I just put, I adored this realm, this book, this realm, favourite and the boys, even Reese. So, I mean, everyone's spoken about this book, so I'm sure everyone knows, like, the rough detailings of it. But yeah, I love Feyre and Tamlin together. However, I know that in the next book he becomes a bit of an arsehole. So I know that she ends up with somebody else, which I think I'm okay with. It depends how it's written, and it depends what events lead up to that point. But I just really want I just want the whole series. I'm just ready to read the whole series. If I get the whole series for my birthday, or money to buy the whole series for my birthday, I think my July will just be taken up by all these books. I'm not even gonna lie. Finally, once I got round to I'm currently reading From Blood and Ash. I am really enjoying this. Again, I want the other 2 books from this series before I finish it, because I know that I'm going to want to go straight into reading it. This is actually, I don't know if you can see my tabs, this is the first book I've ever annotated. I'm not doing it heavily, I'm just like annotating my favourite quote. Well, I think for this one I'm doing like romance scene, like romance quotes between the 2 like main people, and then I've got a different colour here for somebody else that said something that was really cute, so I tagged that. I am on page 352 out of 613, so I'm halfway, or just over halfway. And I will be sitting down and reading a big chunk of this today. That is how I plan to spend my day after I film my videos. So yeah, so that's where I've got up to. So I didn't get around to reading Red Queen, which I'm kind of sad about, because when I got back into reading because of TikTok and everything, this was the first book that I picked up or like put in my cart because everyone was raving about it, and I just haven't got around to reading it yet. And I don't know why. I will be, if I get through my books for July, this will be added to it. And then the other one is Down Comes the Night, which is the book that I struggled to get my hands on. Again, I was like dying to read this, but I just didn't get around to it. Between working and everything, I just haven't got around to it. So like I said, I'll either read them in July, or I'll have to put them on another TBR sometime later in the year. Like I say though, when I do my TBRs, I do kind of mood read as well. So if I'm really not feeling any of the books on my TBR, and I'm really feeling another book that's on my shelf, I will just pick that up and read it, because I can't read if I'm not in the mood to read that specific book. So that is what I read over this month. I'm hoping to get a good chunk of From Blood and Ash done today, and then finish it tomorrow, hopefully, because tomorrow's the 30th of June, which will be the last day of June, which means if I finish it then I'm like on schedule. If not, it's gonna have to go into July, and then that's gonna set back my July books. But I have a good feeling about it. I've got a couple of days off, so I'm off today, and then I'm on a really short morning shift tomorrow, so I should be able to like just crack on through it as long as I don't have other things to do. So that is what my days are going to be. Yeah, I've loved everything that I've read so far, and I feel like I'm falling down a hole of fantasy romance. Like, I like romance books and I like fantasy books, but the 2 together are just like this extra special genre to me and I love it. So if you have any recs, please drop them in the comments below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up so I know to keep doing them. And don't forget to subscribe before you leave. That is it for today's video. Bye guys!